movie junkies, or in this case, TV show junkies, welcome back to Twin Flicks, where we always here celebrating the magic of movies and TV shows, and of course, physical media. Now, this is a review video that I have been working on for the past couple months. I held off on it. Now, Acorn sent me the first 3 seasons a few months ago. If you've been following me on my social media account, then you're well aware of that. And I wanted to get these reviews out, but season 4 was announced just last month. And I kind of wanted to wait until season 4 was available. And they finally sent season 4 to me just last week. So I'm going to be reviewing all 4 seasons of Creepshow. Now, I've always been a big sucker for horror anthology series and movies. From Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, Tales from the Dark Side. And who remembers the late 80s anthology series Monsters, which is probably my favorite. And of course, Tales from the Crypt, which is the most popular one out of the bunch. And we just really haven't had any anthology series since Tales from the Crypt ended, I believe in 96-97. Until now, when special makeup effects veteran came in and brought us the horror anthology us fans have been wanting with the new horror anthology series on Shudder, Creepshow. Now, the series started in 2019 and has been running strong ever since. Every year, guys, I'm just anxiously anticipating for the next season because honestly, the seasons are pretty short with their episode length. And the Creepshow series really holds true to the formula, with each episode containing 2 different stories, with each of them bookend by the creep as he reads from the comic that the episode is based on, or the segment is based on. One aspect of the show that I really enjoyed is while you have some character-focused segments, we also have those delicious horror, blood, gore soak segments that are just fantastic. And with the likes of Greg Nicotero and also Tom Savini being involved in the show, you know you're in for a real treat enjoying all those practical makeup effects. In fact, one rule that Greg Nicotero had when he started production on the show is no CG effects. It's all practical. In a world filled with CG orgy-filled movies and TV shows, it's very refreshing. And the practical effects and prosthetics are top-notch. We have it all. Grotesque werewolves in episode 2 of season 1. I mean, guys, we have werewolves against Nazis in this episode. What more could you ask for? We also have an episode of zombies itself, a scarecrow. All the creature effects are practical and look outstanding with plenty of practical gore and gags to behold. And no, the series is not all just about creatures and gore, but also the series keeps focused on characters and character development. The acting in every episode is pretty much solid, and we have a lot of special guest appearances, including Davy Arquette. But the real treat in season 1 is seeing Adrienne Barbeau back in the saddle with episode 1 in season 1. Now, Creepshow season 1 is a must for horror fans. The stories will pull you in, and the whole aesthetic of the show completely matches the movie. And if you're like me, a fan of these horror anthologies, then this show is right up your alley as well. Alright, so I'm giving season 1 of Creepshow a 4.5 out of a 5. They come out of the gate swinging hard with this one. And after watching season 1, I could not wait to dive into the rest of the seasons.
People like horror. People like being scared.
You have to try it.
What the hell?
All hail the king.
Now, season 2 went even bigger and bolder with their episodes that feature siblings that are trying to run a murder bed and breakfast, an abusive uncle and his nephew who learn voodoo, an episode involving an astronaut that is living in his father's shadow, which is one of my personal favorites, and also one of the best episodes out of season 2, featuring Ted Raimi unleashing deadites on a public access show. And that's just the first 4 segments. The season is just stacked with genre actors from Kevin Dillon, from Keith David, Ted Raimi, with Ali Later and C. Thomas Howell, and also Josh McDermott, and even Molly Ringwald and Justin Long are in episodes. They all give very memorable performances, but also leaning into the campiness of the Creepshow style, which is terrific. Now, I will be honest here, the second season of Creepshow did feel a little flat at times. Some of the stories just felt like they weren't perfectly written, or they were written in a hurry. Some are tales that will definitely stick with you and really leans into the Creepshow style, while others just feel a little disjointed and out of place. But even with those weaker episodes, it's still a great season. The season still has plenty of practical and visual effects with some fantastic death scenes. The practical use of makeup and creature effects look great. Creepshow Season 2 is definitely an entertaining season with some worthy episodes, but also other episodes not so worthy, they're pretty weak. But don't let these bad ones leave a bad taste in your mouth, because the better segments are definitely well worth it and outweigh the bad ones. Alright guys, so I'm giving Creepshow Season 2 a 3.5 out of 5.
It's just a bad dream. You forgot to say spoiler alert?
And honestly guys, I've been really enjoying this series. It's been a lot of fun, and Season 3 is definitely no exception here, and I liked it much better than I did with Season 2. Season 3 feels much more how a Creepshow anthology series should be. It keeps more in that line. The season gives fans a lot of the same style of humor while paying tribute to EC Comics with the Creeper. Now, I will say that Season 3 isn't as stacked with iconic actors, but there is still some great guest appearances from Ethan Embry to James Remar, and it's this entire cast that really glues Season 3 together. The cast is phenomenal with some outstanding performances, and again, leans into some of that cheesiness and campiness of Creepshow. And the stories for Season 3 are much better than Season 2, but still, there are a couple episodes that just feel a little out of place, almost like Black Mirror episodes, and it doesn't really fit with Creepshow. It's a little disjointed. Also with Season 3, we saw a little bit more CG effects in the series that are noticeable, but also done in a way that complements the practical effects. It's a really good blend of the two, practical and CG. The kills and gore, of course, are top-notch, coming from Greg Nicotero, and it's just filled with blood and gore and deliciousness. Creepshow Season 3 is another hit for the series, and was a nice refresher after the weaker Season 2. So I'm giving Creepshow Season 3 a 4 out of 5. Again, this was definitely better than Season 2, but still had its misfires.
Everyone has a price to pay.
Monster. I'll give you a monster.
Now, Season 4 really does start out strong with episode 20 Minutes with Cassandra, which is helmed by showrunner Greg Nicotero. It's a really fun and gory survival the night storyline. But its second segment in the episode, Smile, was very forgettable story, and honestly was a huge letdown after the strength of the first segment from Greg Nicotero. And that's pretty much how Season 4 goes. One segment will be great and strong, followed by a weak segment within the same episode. But I do have some favorites. Especially my favorite segment is a nice homage to George Romero called George Romero 3D. This was definitely my favorite episode out of the Season 4, as it takes place during the events of Night of the Living Dead. And this was definitely the highlight of the season. There was also a really fun segment I really enjoyed called The Hat, which is a take on how far a talentless writer will go for success. But my least favorite was Parent Death Trap, about a young man whose parents haunt him after he murders them. I really just did not like that segment. Overall though, Season 4, while yes, it has its hits and misses, all the episodes still did make for entertaining stories that make Creepshow what it is as a horror anthology series. I'm giving Creepshow Season 4 a 3.5 out of 5. So out of the 4 seasons, I have to say that Season 1 and Season 3 Those are definitely the winner seasons out of the series. Come back here and let me know what you thought of the series, if you've seen it on Shudder or if you are buying the Blu-ray. Let me know what your thoughts on these series are and if you agree with my take on each season. Well, guys, as always, thanks so much for watching. Keep physical media alive. I want to thank Acorn Films for sending this to me again, and we'll see you next time.